Hey everybody, I hope this message finds you well. I'm coming on today to briefly just talk about one track mindedness and our our constant race on a hamster wheel. Okay, some people have gotten very good at this material world, right? They've gained a lot of money, a lot of status, a lot of attention. Their physiques are nice. They have nice bodies. They're good, right? They're good to go as far as on the outside. But on the inside, not so much. You see, people try on the outside to improve themselves. Constantly, we're improving ourselves, constantly trying to get the new this and the new that and upgrade this and upgrade that outside of ourselves. But we never take the challenge on to actually level up internally, emotionally, spiritually. I come on here and I speak, and sometimes I feel like people might think that, I'm coming from a place of judgment or self righteousness. And I'm not. I was where you have been, I was where a lot of people are currently. I was there. I'm speaking from a place of going through and coming out on the other side, understanding that I could not attain what I wanted to attain, that change, that level up, that that upgrade, that evolution. I couldn't obtain that until I fixed the mindsets that keep me stuck in this lower vibrational energy. In this world, we have gotten conditioned to think that we can step out of order, that we can go against nature and that we can go against the flow of life, that we can just pick our spots. There's no way to skip steps. If you skip a step, you have to go back. It's not going to be done correctly. The only way for you to continue to evolve is for you to continue to be aware. We have been raised since babes to believe, to have fears about things we've never even experienced. I think back to my childhood, and a lot of the stories that my mother used to tell me was ones of passed down trauma and fear. And honestly, I carry it with me to this day. And I I am working within myself to let that go because it holds you back. And then you end up repeating these cycles because you haven't learned your lesson. You end up, meeting the same person with a different name because you haven't dealt with yourself. We can't we cannot depend on the outside world to feed us happiness or to feed us peace or to feed us contentment. We cannot depend on anyone outside of ourselves. We can't. It's unfair to the person too, or the thing, because it takes the joy right out of it when someone is expecting you to give them happiness. It's a big responsibility. You have to find that peace within yourself. And a lot of people, quite frankly, are just afraid of being with themselves. You have to learn how to be with yourself, folks. Stop getting in people inboxes. Stop texting people. Stop, stop going on dates. Stop. And I'm not saying like, forever. I'm just saying that if you know that your life is going down a path that you don't agree with, or that doesn't mesh with the dreams or aspirations that you want for yourself, then it's time to make a change. And the only way to do that is to remove yourself from any trigger, from any environment, from any situation, from any people that are going to keep you comfortable in that low vibration, which is fear, envy, lies, deception, money. Because money, to me, is lower vibrational. I've had a lot of people over the course of my life try to come at me because of what I didn't have. I had a lot of people look down upon me because they felt like they had more than me material wise. So that therefore I was less than them. You can't eat money. I mean, look at the state of the world today. We can't throw money at things. No amount of money we throw at coronavirus is going to make her stop. She going to stop when she ready, right? And it's the same thing with everything else in this life. I've been there and I've done that, and I brought the t-shirt back to prove to y'all that it can be done. These conversations need to be had because I don't think people are actually understanding, because they are on autopilot 24/7. They don't have any real sense of reality. Their reality is all up in their head. They live their reality out in their heads, not really paying attention to the reality of life. And again, this can be uncomfortable to face. This is, if this message resonates, or if it causes you to feel some type of way, I encourage you to think about why. There are certain situations in our lives where we got to stop saying, okay, well, that was somebody else. And we have to look at, well, why do I keep meeting the same person with a different face? Why do I have such a hard time standing up for myself and believing in myself, but then I believe in other people so strongly? It's just important for us to really learn and really understand and really pay attention and really be self-aware. And it's hard and it's not easy to do, but it's definitely something that is going to be worth it, because moving forward, when you do that work and then you go out here in this world, you're less sensitive, and you're less likely to compromise on things that do not resonate with you. If it doesn't resonate with you, you do not compromise on it, because you understand that it's not for you, and you don't put things or take things that take up too much space in your life, because you understand that the things that are meant to be your life need space to come in. We have to work with our shadow sides. We have to work with the demons. We have to work with the trauma. We have got to stop suppressing it with alcohol, drugs, and sex, people, other people. We have got to stop doing that. It's not getting us anywhere. It's only convoluting the situation even more. We have to get on our own betterment, our own, like from the inside. Stop dressing up the outside. Stop paying attention to how you look on the outside, and pay attention to how you look on the inside. What are people going to think and feel about you if you were gone today? Would you have left a good impression on people's hearts? And furthermore, if you were going today, for some people, if you were going today or tomorrow, wouldn't you regret some of the choices that you made or some of the times that you spent in the wrong areas, given to the wrong people? Because good people have to make sure that they make wise investments as well. We got to stop giving to these people that are lower vibrational and do not have any real love for themselves, let alone another. We have to stop giving to those people. Those people need to learn, and they will learn, but not if you have if you're guarded, if you're guarding them, if they're, this is a guardian angel type of situation. You can't step in people's way of learning. And when we do, you see that life is like this. When you step in the way of people learning lessons that they need to learn to make them, to build character, to make them understand, here you go. Again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Some people really think that having discipline is hard, but I feel like living unrighteously is harder. Period. It's harder. It causes a lot more anger, confusion, and moving forward into the future. It does. It creates conflict and just chaos. But again, you're only going to get what you reflect. So if you never did the work and you don't do the work on yourself and you don't heal yourself and you don't heal your wounds and you don't deal with your trauma and you stuff it and you just you just ignore it and you put it underneath the bed and you lock it up in the safe and you don't ever open up the safe again, it's still there. And it is plaguing your waking life. It's plaguing your relationships with your children, with your partners, with your friendships. It's plaguing your job performance. These barriers don't just stop at one area. These barriers have a way of spilling over into every facet of your life. Get off autopilot, people. Get off autopilot. Start doing things differently than what you're doing them. That's number one. If your first inclination is to yell, shut up. If your first inclination is to shut up, yell. Whatever you've been doing, stop and do the exact opposite. Another thing is just be silent altogether. Being silent and quiet more with yourself is going to help you be one with yourself. It's going to help you hear you. We live in a very loud world. And sometimes we don't even understand how loud it is. That's another reason why we are constantly put on autopilot, because we're constantly on this wheel of life and we don't even realize it's so noisy. We can't hear, we can't see. We're just moving through life. And that's not good. I want to stop and smell the roses. I want to stop and feel the sun. Forget this money. I encourage you all to, number two, to look up spiritual enlightenment videos. I know I drop a couple of, intellectual pings and whatnot, but also check out other people. Check out videos about trauma. Check out videos about mental health. Check out these videos about emotional wounds, inner child work, inner shadow work. Check out these different videos. I would encourage to Google different videos to enlighten you to things that you don't know about your spiritual life, because we have paid so much attention to our physical life, this 3D world. We have ignored our insides completely. I encourage you all to get to know yourselves internally. Look at yourselves internally. Clean house internally. We cannot evolve into better people still doing things that we used to do from our past that wasn't working, that didn't serve us. We can't take those same mentalities and then take it to the new life. In order to be in the new life, we're going to have to let go of all that. We're going to have to learn new habits. We're going to have to learn new ways of thinking. We're going to have to learn new ways of being, new ways of talking to people, new ways of relaying our ideas, new confidence. Encourage you all to clean house. And when I say clean house, I mean clean your temple inside. Fasting also. Number 3, fasting. Fasting is another thing that you can do, in my opinion, that will kind of balance you out. Now, obviously, some people can't fast, but even if it's just sacrificing something, okay? Even if it's just sacrificing the coffee for that day, or sacrificing something that you know is unhealthy for you, sacrifice it and see what is brought into your life to replace it. Let it go. I don't want this to run into an hour long, so I'm going to actually stop here. But please comment down below and let me know if this is something that anybody else has been thinking about, because I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been trying to have this conversation with a lot of different people, and I feel like it hasn't really resonated with people in the way that I want to. So I'm really interested in hearing maybe from feedback on whether or not maybe the way I'm conveying things isn't the appropriate way. Is it something wrong with the way I'm speaking about things that is hard to, I don't know, take? I just feel like there's a remnant of around me of people that hear me, but they don't want to hear me, if that makes sense. And I'm just wondering if it's me, my the way I convey it, the way I convey what I've learned spiritually, or is it just the person? But again, that's coming from my life experience, and I'm letting go of that lower vibration of doubt, that emotion of, well, maybe it's me. I mean, if you know that you were working out of your heart space and doing the right thing, it was never you. If you know that you were coming from the right place and you were speaking from the heart, it was never you. So I'm working on that myself, but I'm interested to hear other people's points of view about whether or not that's even a problem or an issue. But nevertheless, I hope that you could pick up some information from this. I really do. I think that this is very important for people to pay more attention to their emotional health and their mental health. I feel like a lot of the mental and the emotional health has plagued this nation, this world, to the point where, a lot of things could be resolved if we just address the inner turmoil that everyone is facing on a regular basis. That's all I got. Until next time, take care, y'all.